We have our own kind of loud rumbles going on here because it has been a day, Tessa.
It really has. And as we talked about earlier, it's caused enough chaos in the metro with crashes and potential arroyo rescues. We're still monitoring those situations, by the way.
That's right. And we'll get you the latest when we can. But, you know, it's the metro was hit hard. Also, the Four Corners, areas like Farmington earlier today, and also Navajo Lake. The storm is passing now. The wind is calmer, I'll say, than it was when this storm was first sweeping across this area. Right now you can see some more rain out there in the distance from the vantage point of our Buffalo Thunder camera, which is looking out toward the Jemez Mountains. And right now, speaking about the Four Corners, we do have a flash flood warning. Now this is going to be in effect for most areas in and around Farmington, and also including some parts of the San Juan River. This will be in effect until 7:34 tonight. And you can see for yourself plenty of action going on as we just saw in the Jemez Mountains, but also in central New Mexico. Strong storms now crossing Rio Grande Estates, and you can see up toward the Manzano Mountain Range. That's where we're getting some of the heaviest rain, at least in central New Mexico. And then from Fort Sumner northwest up toward areas pretty much crossing I-40, we are getting these isolated storms. Now, what are we seeing with these? Wind gust up to about 40 to 50 miles per hour, the potential for some hail, and also that high wind, and then mix that with a flooding risk. This is in fact for most of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, including the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon burn scar. Got to be very careful on days like today because there's plenty of energy out there in the atmosphere and more thunderstorms, which will be in effect overnight for northeastern New Mexico. Now, in terms of temperatures, we're going to be mostly in the 40s and 50s across the northern half of the state, 50s and 60s down south. But then we get another round of isolated storms across the eastern plains and starting once again across western New Mexico, eventually forming a little bit of a line across the eastern plains by tomorrow night. We'll be watching that for you in terms of severe weather. But then another storm, this is going to be another source of stormy weather. It's going to be moving in on Wednesday. It looks like severe weather across the northeast and across northern New Mexico. The potential for not just rain, but also some flooding. By Thursday, that moves out. We will be clearing out in time for the end of the work week. And in fact, it's going to be getting hotter by the day starting Friday and as we get into this next coming weekend. Across most of the southeast for tomorrow, it's going to be low to mid 90s, Artesia to Carlsbad. You can see high 80s for Hobbs and also for Roswell near the 90s. Not as active as today. Same story across the southwest, except for higher elevation areas like Reserve and Silver City, areas like Magdalena, but it will be a hot one in places like Hatch and Las Cruces. You can see that for Roswell, it is going to be switching to the triple digits as soon as this weekend, so those hot temperatures are on the way. Looking dry for the remainder of the work week in Silver City. Across the northwest, this is a place that's going to be really active for tomorrow. Most of those temperatures in the 60s from Cimarron, Clayton to Las Vegas. Logan, Mora, and Raton, we're going to be seeing mid 70s to mid 60s, and you can see that a lot of lightning icons across that section of the state. The same across the northwest for tomorrow, where it's going to be a warm day, but we are going to get those storms going by the afternoon. Now, in terms of Farmington, going up to about a 70% chance of rain on Wednesday. Las Vegas, a 60% chance of rain. For the North Mountains, another active day. We're going to be watching the potential for some flooding near the burn scars. Otherwise, 60 to 70% chance of rain tomorrow through Wednesday. East Mountains look to get going by the afternoon, and if we're lucky enough to cash in on those afternoon thunderstorms, then I think we could see a repeat of today's flood potential, at least in areas like ditches and arroyos. But that next storm, it's going to be bringing up our rain chances to a 50% chance Wednesday.